This is not just another protest. This is a warning, loud and clear, about what happens when a nation's people feel that their country no longer belongs to them. In the quiet town of Epping, Essex, new protests erupted this week outside a migrant hotel. But the quiet didn't last. The people here are angry. They're anxious. They feel pushed to the margins of a society that no longer listens. The real story reveals itself when we compare how the Labour government responded to protests last summer, following the Southport murders, with how they are reacting now. Back on August 4, 2024, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer addressed the riots by declaring, "I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery we have seen this weekend." He ended his statement saying, "I won't shy away from calling this what it is, far-right thuggery." But this summer, the tone has changed. Labour politicians are going out of their way to acknowledge that protesters have real concerns, especially around mass immigration. At a recent cabinet meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was quoted saying, "Economic insecurity, the rapid pace of deindustrialization, immigration, and the impacts on local communities and public services are having a profound effect on society." A spokesperson for Starmer backed her up, stating that high levels of immigration over the last 10 years, including illegal immigration, have impacted our social fabric and social cohesion. Now, before we go further, let us ask you, do you believe this shift is genuine, or is it just politics catching up to public anger? Comment your thoughts, and if you believe the people deserve to be heard, like this video now. Let's go deeper. This isn't just about changing rhetoric. This is about the rise of something new, a politically awakened working-class movement that feels left behind. For years, the anger of working-class Britons was scattered, diluted, unfocused. But now, thanks to Reform UK, it has a voice, and it's growing louder. Election data and polling confirm it. Reform is more than a protest party. It's becoming the political home for white working-class voters who no longer trust Labour or the Conservatives. And they're not just angry about immigration. They're furious about NHS waiting lists while asylum seekers are housed in hotels. They're angry about violent crime going unpunished. They're tired of working harder for less while others appear to cheat the system. According to the UK's Office for National Statistics, the British population rose by more than 700,000 in the 12 months to June 2024, the second largest yearly increase since records began in 1949. That's not just a number. It's pressure on housing, hospitals, schools, jobs. And the response? In a Midlands focus group run by Public First, a participant said, "Britain is a tinderbox. There's so much pent-up frustration." Another, discussing migrant hotels, added, "It's not racist. We're just scared for our safety." One more said, "There has to be a reset. People need to feel safe in their own communities." YouGov's polling shows a staggering rise in disaffection. In 2019, 42% of working-class respondents said no party represented their priorities. By June 2025, that number had risen to 56%. Only 24% now believe any party speaks for them. These are voters in social grades C2, D, and E, manual workers, pensioners, the unemployed, the heart of the working class. And when they look at Parliament, they don't see themselves. They see betrayal. They see inaction. They see policies that help everyone but them: immigrants, big corporations, the wealthy. Think about it. Asylum seekers in luxury hotels, fast-tracked medical care, reports of crimes involving migrant men in communities already under strain, all while the average citizen waits months for basic care. This is about fairness and control, and the feeling that neither exist anymore. Reform UK taps into this reality. Nigel Farage even floated the idea of deporting serious criminals to prisons in El Salvador. Critics laughed, but to millions it didn't sound absurd. It sounded like someone finally saying what they're thinking. Now let's be clear, this movement isn't about race, it's about justice. And yet there's a growing unease around culture too. Not because people want a white Britain, but because they feel like expressing patriotism is now seen as offensive. Because they're tired of protests over foreign wars by people who act like everyone shares their politics. Because they're told they can't say what they really feel, even as others scream loudly in the streets. And here's the twist. Most of these people still identify as working class. But many are actually a blend of working and lower middle class. They live in provincial towns across the Midlands, the North, and along the coast. Places where Reform UK is gaining ground fast. So we ask you again, should the government have listened sooner? Is the rise of reform a warning or a solution? And can any mainstream party now afford to ignore the voice of working Britain? Comment your thoughts below. Like this video if you believe the anger is real and the system is broken. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And follow for more unfiltered stories that matter. This script is fully based on verified reporting by The Telegraph UK, with quotes from Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, polling data from YouGov and Public First, and official statistics from the Office for National Statistics. No speculation, no spin, just the facts. And here's the cold, hard truth. Britain is not just politically divided, it's emotionally fractured. And unless someone listens soon, the next shift in power won't be at the ballot box. It'll be in the streets.